what happened was ngiyazalwa ngimncane umama ongizalayo akajabuleli ukuthi unengane. Igriza lami lehamba loyenza sleep in emakhishini. Akusanawo omunye umuntu ozonakekela nami. Ngiyangizwa ngithi ngina 8 ngilanda 9. Ngi1. Elapho ngiyabona lifike liphuze nabanye abantu or liyadlula or ngelinye ilanga lizwakele khona la endlini yona kulo mkhukhu lo ngihlala kuwo ngi1 lifike neboyfriend. So at 10 years 11 years sengikwazi ukuphula endlini yomlo nyonjonjo and ungacabanga ukuthi ngiyofika ngiyothatha ukudla efridge because I'm hungry. Upbringing may right, but bekunezinto eziningi kahle ezingakho right, you understand? So like ukuthi akuna baba no mama set up, uyazibona lezo zinto ezinjalo. So esikhathini esiningi izinto ezinjalo ze-influence negative upbringing yomuntu. Kwesinye isikhathi azina impact at all, umuntu uyakhula nje abe successful, you understand? So what happened was ngiyazalwa ngimncane umama ongizalayo akajabuleli ukuthi unengane, you understand? Then I had ukuthi ngibe nogogo bese ngihlala naye, yazi uyaforced ukuthi hey umntwana lesi umntwana le, but mase nginabo I think approximately 4 months kunabanye abatake over, umunye uanti otake over nayo yangikhulisa. Mase ngina 2 years se take over sister le griza lami nalo leyangikhulisa. Mangifika ku 6 years naye seka give up ile, you understand? And then ngihlale somewhere ebantwini ngihlale nabantu engingabazi for approximately 2 years, yebo. So mangiloko ngihlala nabo labantu after leyo 2 years bangifunile, it's like bengilahlekile sort of, bangifune igriza lami magogo wami angithole. And when she finds me, obviously we happy ukuthi umntwana ubuyile, we are reunited mina naye, you understand? So ugogo wami what was difficult lapha nokuthi ugogo wami bekanomntwana we-out ongidlula nge2 years and the last born yakhe, you understand? So you can imagine ukuthi umama one last born ngapha unomzukulu ocisha lingane ne-last born. Now you can balance equation ukuthi makuwumama osebenza emakhishini ufuna ukuba responsible for labantwana boyi2, but equilibrium ayikho because you can't balance umntwana wakho nesizukulu sakho equally. It takes I don't know, inner maturity for someone to do that, you understand? Yes. So why am I saying this? Kunokuthi le ifuna something ithole, mina ngifuna something kube nalento ukuthi maybe kune waiting period or angiyitholi at all, but at the time bozoyiblame ngoba mina at the time bengingazi ukuthi igriza lami akusiko leli lami, mina bengazi ukuthi ikoleli lami. So what would I read into the situation is that igriza lami li favor le more than mina, you understand? Which was something obviously ukuthi umuntu ngaphakathi it destroys you, but slowly ngoba sometimes kuyavela ukuthi uthengile ugriza izinto ezifanayo zami nalomuntu, you understand? Then around 8 to 9 years lo gazi umntwana wegriza mina bekuyi brother yami at that time, that's how I knew him. Uyahamba uya ku boarding school, mina ngiyasala, mangisala edladlini kusemkhukhwini la Alexander, yabo ngiyasala, mangisala igriza lami lehamba loyenza sleep in emakhishini. Akusana omunye umuntu ozonakekela nami. Ngiyangizwa ngithi ngina 8 ngilanda 9, ngi-1 and ngihlale Alexander Township. Inspiration yami yase Alexander, what influences me, it's good and bad. But as says what is dominant elokishini lase Alexander, or what was dominant back then, even to this day, Alexander is a mix of I don't know, but it's a lot of nonsense that goes on there. You understand?
Alright. Cela sibuyele emuva kancane ukuthi bekuyini cause yokuthi umama angakujabuleli ukuba nomntana.
Okay. I wouldn't read into the situation too much. You understand? But I tried to answer all questions lying now. Maybe I wasn't a planned baby. Maybe umuntu udlenguliwe, you don't know. Maybe umuntu bekanga ufuna umntwana, or maybe bekunama problems enginawo as a baby, as an infant, nokuba nama complications. You'll never know. You understand? But to this day, I've asked questions. Angakawathola ama answers are relevant to that question. But there are stories I've heard. Zokuthi hayi ufike une 7 months emhlabeni, and it was actually something eyenzekele because your mother was trying to do this. You understand? Yeah. So those are some of the how do I put this, elements ukuthi surround that thing. Mara uyazi mawumncane question ngengqondo omncane ukuthi kathi kwenzakalani, why umama mina ngikhomba igriza lami, why ulidlami mina ngathi ngithandi njengalo. But at the same time kunama whispers yazi abantu abathanda indaba efamily would say na umama akho this and that, but I wouldn't believe it because she's not motherly to a point yokuthi ukwabona une olady lingakaze lispende nesheleni kuwe, mara kune olady la next door elidakwayo, but alifuni next ngabantwana bami. Ngeke lithenge iBS inkosi ningasithenga. But mina ngihlala ngi1 elami olady ngiyabona lifike liphuze nabanye abantu or liyadlula, or ngelinye langa lizwakele khona la endlini yona kulo mkhukhu lo ngihlala kuwo ngi1 lifike neboyfriend. And mina sengijwayela ngithi ngi1 nginokubuye ngibheka istory somewhere kwelinye idladla naba neTV khona, ngibuye ngo9. Mangifika ngo9 umuntu sekakhiyile. And I'm not accustomed to indaba zokuthi ngiyakhiyelwa, ngithi ngihlala ngi1 and independent ngaleyo ndlela leyo. You understand? But sekafika sekanama rules nama regulations, and ama rules wakhona, they're not coming from a loving heart. It's because on a boyfriend, it's a one-room teen house. She has to lock herself in there. Then I have to figure out where do I go to sleep. You understand? So those are some of the elements as a influencer, the growing yam, the upbringing yam, which imagine, because I had many mothers, I had many fathers, I had many teachers. I want brothers and sisters as well. You understand? From the streets and neighbors.
So now una 8 years magogo uvayile usemakhishini, brother wakho use boarding school, usurvive kanjani la?
Okay, here's a story. Ikriza lami lisemakhishini ngila Alexander, it's Lombardy East, maybe it's a kilometer away. You understand? If not a little bit more, but I do go kuye ngifike ngamukele lama rinsa lama leftovers lawa shiwa belungu and some of the things that she would buy, but it doesn't happen as frequent as it's supposed to happen. You understand? She does it out of the basis of sympathy for me, ngoba she knows ukuthi her daughter cares less about the child. You understand? So sometimes ngile kugriza, sometimes kufair for me. You understand? I don't go into taxi ngolanda lezinto, fanele ngiwalk ngiyele. Sometimes ngisuka la ngiphethwe indlala manje, ngibuye esikolweni anginagawula, and bengasi isikhathi seselula ngalesa sikhathi. You understand? So kumele ngivaye ngiye lapha yana, anginayo nemali ukuthi ngaya mhlawumbe esikolweni sika Telkom ngoba inamba yala isebenza khona ngiyazi, ngifonele lapho ukuthi phela kulambekile. Sometimes angiboni need la ejardini kunabantu abakhona, yazi Alexander njani, it's a communal setup. Our own yard yakho as an individual, but we live together in one setup. Sometimes unokuthi uphume umnyango womunye umuntu, on your left umnyango, on your right umnyango womunye umuntu. You understand? So sesijwayelene ngalendlela ukuthi it wasn't bizarre for me to say emuntwini, can I have food? You understand? But ke ngoba ngimncane I knew ukuthi you don't have to ask. Instead you have to make sure ukuthi uyazitholela. Then the decision came, udlala ama-dice, udlala izwiphi, uvana laba abavaya bayotshontsha ema-shop. Now uyatshontsha. And then leso sincanyana ositholile obuya naso uyakwazi ukwenza 1 2 3. But I blame that 100%, but also reducing the 100% maybe to 9% to 98%. Ngiyay encourage leyanto to a certain degree ngoba ngifundise responsibility, but it came in a wrong way. You understand? Yes.
Kunini la khona usothatha i-decision sokuthi manje ngidlala izwiphi, ngidlala ama-dice, ngenza shoplifting?
Yeah. Okay. At 9, obviously kuleyo age leyo 8 years, bengizenza partly lezinto because bengiyi-1. You understand? And kulula because ngiphuma la estradini kuney'ntwana ezidlala ezincane. Abangani bami yilaba. Angeke ngibe nomngane we-cheese boy, angisi-cheese boy. Angeke ngibe nomngane onama-parents are responsible because firstly ngizoklaswa yi-parents yalo mfana ukuthi hey lo mntwana ungadlali nalaba. Yabo ngoba obviously le group yami lefana nami nge-background. Noma engeke ifane ncamashi, but abanomama beyidakwa, abonomama banjani njani, abobaba banjani njani, yabona siklaswa under lezi eze-poverty ngathi zingahamba. Yazi la ilokishi linjani, yabona ama-differences yilawo ukuthi kini nimnandi bazokutshela ukuthi angifuni ukubona udlala nabo bani, uyabona. So bakhona abafana bebakhula nathi but besingakwazi nokuthi sidlale nabo even if they were willing ukuthi sidlale nabo. So somehow you are coerced ukuthi you take that direction. Now abantu bezwiphi yizo lezi ezihamba zodlala ikarati, yizo lezi ezihamba zodlala ngamaplankara le madust lezibuya zimbashile, yabo lezi ezibuya zigcwele idust yizo skimayo. You understand? So it happened ngaleyo ndlela, and then kancane sekunendawo yokubloma la kudlala izwiphi, kudlalwa ama-dice nini kunale ndawo ye-bioscope lapha bebizwa nge-King's Theatre. It was a cinema, a big one. Now on weekends it was frequented by us because we're not going to school and everything like that. But during the week, obviously laba bakhonayo because you know they can afford, but it was open 7 days a week. So those were some of the influences surrounding their upbringing. Yeah, you understand? You understand ukuthi ngiyazikhulisa. Omunye nomunye umuntu othi hayi ungayenzi leyo, naye ngiyathatha that weight. Fika omunye hayi mfana semzini right, and lo mdala nalo yamdala. So lo ngitshela ukuthi lento i-right, uyangibonisa ukuthi i-right kanjani. Lo uyangitshela ukuthi i-wrong, akangibonisi kodwa ukuthi i-wrong kanjani. So umuphi ozomlalela? Yeah, so it becomes obvious ukuthi okay lo ngibonisa ukuthi i-right and then angibonisa ukuthi i-right ngani, and then it becomes obvious kimi ukuthi no kahle kumele ngilandele le channel. You understand? Then it starts lapho sisaseyintwana sesiyahamba ke siya kuma outlets afana nabo Checkers, abo Dion, abo Game la kusesingamleni ke ngoba yabona Alexander surrounding yakhona yonke, it's a suburb, yabona. So we would go indawo ezifana nalezo now. Sesiyontshontshwa manje. Sicala ngama-toys, ama-bicycle, maybe ngeke sikhiphe i-bicycle store, but when we are walking around the suburbs masingabona abantwana babelungu bapaka i-bicycle eparking bayadlala lapha, siyantshontsha. You understand? And uma ufika eKasi akunakuthi mangifika ngithola iGrootman eGroot ngiyafika ngibhayisa ibhondi, ayibheki ukuthi ngintwana iyazi ukuthi la eKasi kuney'ntwana ezisipinayo emakhishini, okwakhe ukuthi ngizomrobha kanjani nomuntu ngimnikeze iprice eless ngoba intwana. You understand? So those are some of the dynamics as involved with their upbringing, engana parental influence or even guidance, if you like. You understand?
So iskele khamba kanjani ngaleso sikhathi leso?
Eskele ngiyaya and ngiconsistent ngeskele. But one thing, or should I say two things, ukuthi eskele bezi ravage into my spirit. They actually destroyed me somehow. Indaba yokuthi ngiyeskela ngigqoka incaza lakhona ngilithathe komunye umuntu and emele ngili-adjust ukuthi lingilingane. You understand? Ngigqoka ihembe ngiligayiwe, almost yonke inform yami bangihilele kunomuntu omgaye yona. Number 2, angidli every day. ngelinye ilanga nginayo imali yesimpo, ngelinye ilanga anginayo. Yeah, understand. Ngelinye ilanga angina mali yokugawula throughout the day. Mele ngize ngiyeLombathi. Igriza lami lafika Sunday lishiye lokulikushiyayo. But lento elizishiyayo lezi izinto ezingaphela even in 2 days because nana refrigerators awekho ngaleso sikhathi leso. So what do you do as a child? Makufanele uzisupport, uzimaintain. What do you do as a child? Makufanele you take care of yourself. What do you do as a child? Makufanele uayine. I think ugriza lami ukuthi sibancane she would make us do ama duties nyana lawo mancane, uayina, ukuwasha, ukwenza nasifundise. I understand. So ngayibamba lapho azange ngize ngiyeke. Understand? But I would go to school, ngibuye njengawo wonke umuntu, not even show esikolweni ukuthi izinto azikho funny one. But uyazi esikolweni kunaleyo usuka nayo estradini, leyo ihlala kuwo igrand, umuntu ounderstandayo ukuthi ugazi uhlala ewana kana ngix nani. Yabona, so we walk together mase esikolweni sibuya sonke sometimes. But ke uyazi izinto zinjani, umuntu lo uthola ukuthi kubo bamfuna ngasikhathi mina ngisadlala, mina phela ngi-independent, ngafika nango-5 endlini ayikho umuntu ozongitshela ngoba kwami kwasha ihembe, ngiwasha amasokisi wami, ngithatha ibhroko lami ngilifake kwihenga, kusasa ngiyavukela, and that's it. You understand? So ngiqhubekile nesikolo grade, your grade 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is standard 5, angithi. Yeah, ngaqhubeka naleyo background enjalo nje, izinto zingahlangani. You understand? To a point yokuthi mase ngifika ku grade standard 2, was it grade 4? Yeah, mangifika ku standard 2 and 3 or 3 I should say, bese ngiyenza housebreaking mangenza standard 3. So singabala back umuntu makaqala isikole na 6 years ufika ku grade 5 and how many years? You understand? So at 10 years, 11 years, sengikwazi ukuyophula endlini yomlomo nyontshontsho, and ungacabanga ukuthi ngiyofika ngiyothatha ukudla efridge because I'm hungry. I take something engizoyithengisa izonginikeza imali ukuthi ngithenge ukudla, ngithenge impahla, ngibe responsible. You understand? So it felt right at that time ukuthi we are stealing from white people, they are rich, and then siyasiza la elokishini. You understand?
Akukho la nike nenzeka nabanjwa khona at that age?
No, at that age ngabanjwa isitoro ngantshontsha. Ngintshontsha ama-chocolate ne-game. Angisakhumbuli nani. Ngabanjwa, mangibanjwa ngavalelwa ekhejini. Angizange ngiyiswe straight e-police station. Ngivalelwa ekhejini, but ngahlala ekhejini. Ngahlala kwaze kusebusuku. Because no parent would come aze lapho umagogo le anginaye mina umzali, though uyaphila anginaye umzali. Time ake umuntu engazange ngamazi. You understand? So ngaboshwa ngaleso sikhathi ngahlala nyana ekhejini, ngaphuma ke kusebusuku, had to walk a distance nje ngiyofika le ekhasi. But mawuyintwana ke uyazi spirit sakho si free, you're not scared of a lot of things. So ngiyahamba ke kwa ngelokishini, mangifika ngiyabloma, ngiyacabanga ke indaba ekhejini ukuthi umuntu bekavaleleke ekhejini. So kulezi engihamba nazo, it's heroic to them ukuthi you coming from that thing, uboshiwe bakushaya laphayana waphuma, so go waboshwa, it takes you to another level. You understand? And then fast forward i-level mayilokhu iqhubeka ngalokho kungabi serious ukuspina nokuba serious, angithi it's on and off, usaseyintwana, we just try nje ukuthi wenze 1 2 3, uyabona. Hayi but ke malokhu uya i-stage siyamature, uyabona. Then ngelinye ilanga siyahamba nama-auto wami si4 siyophula, but lapho bese ngijwayele lento, sengifast kuyo manje, sengiyaphula izindlu, vele umsebenzi wami it's housebreaking and theft. You understand? Yeah. Now being accustomed to that, sesijwayele ukuthi asiyale, but sisagibela ama-taxi mase emakhishini, noma sibuya sihamba nangamabheke emakhishini, yonke lento le. Ngelinye ilanga siya kusebusuku, masifika siyaphula endlini, sithathe lokho esikuthathayo siphume namabheke, siyi4 siphume kahle namabheke and indlu besiyiphula mind you bekunabantu abayi-2 an elderly couple and uthina we didn't realize ukuthi there are people in the house because we tested the room, looked through the keyhole, we didn't see anything and then bekungana nesikhiya le room likhiwe and phela siyama-master njengabantu ukuthi siyayiphula neminyango kwenza lezinto nyana ezinjalo singena ngefokona butler into esiyigijimisile yilama-TV lawo lama-VHS lawo ama-sound you understand yes nala kuvulwe khona uyathatha wena TV wena in gcwalisa amabheke siyaphuma. Now whilst we are walking on the streets sihamba kwi-side paving sisitshela ukuthi hayi sofika le ngase-bus stop ngoba ama-taxi is 24 hours then sime bus stop so that sikhombe itaxi whether iye Jozi or iye Kasi siyagibela. You understand? Ngoba masifike eJozi kulula kuya Alexander and masilaphana if asithole Alex sizogibela eJozi. That's our decision esiyenza. Now what happens there? Masifika estradini wazi this is a main road, it's a busy road. You find stores, you find apartments, flats and stuff ngapha nangapha. You understand? So akunayo short left or short right. It's a streamline nje yalawo buildings and everything like that. Nama bus stop nani. So whilst we are walking, omunye nomunye uphethe something there, ayithathile aphume nayo fanele ayithwale. You understand? We are walking, masihamba la. Yazi mfethu man ku right sestradini ivibe yasebusuku eJozi eRosebank this and that siyadlula sithi. Yazi masihamba lapha phambi kwethu kunabantu abayithiwa bavaya ikhapule and ingamba. Yabona? Asinaki nokunaka ukuthi hayi tshela nje abantu nje plus ba behavior romantic uyabona le nto ukucabuzana nani. Hayi sharp right akunani. Masibheke emuva kunenye group nayo ingana zidakiwe. You understand? Mawubheka ngala kunabodaki nabo bahamba vele bangathi abanakanga next yabo. You know they conned us like into a block of flats ngapha. Akunakuthi ungangena anywhere. Ngapha it's a chain of stores. And then le phakathi nendawo i-main road. So whether you run back or you run kuphi thina sibone ngalawa abaphambili masimela kule part besime kuyo sithi sikhombe itaxi sibone ngawo bashintsha akhipha igadi hey fuck down yazi abokhata kanjani abokhata basilemi mabafuna ukuthusa icriminal into abayenza bayarasa yabona once bangangena labathe sizokubopha. It's not confusing, it even gives you time to think. You understand? Apart hey the fuck uyaboshwa yini lo yamsindo nje uyakuconfuse ama escaping. Yabona at the same time sisilahle namabheke sisiyatatazela plus intwana. Yabona that was my first actual arrest. Yeah, it was my first actual arrest and to experience in prison. I'm one of those people who have never been taken to a place of safety. I've always I've always managed to somehow escape and my peers or my friends would go to Babosho and then they go to a place of safety. I've never went there. You know, I've like started with prison and then that's why. So siyabosho, masibosho siyathathwa siso eWynberg is what Sentin police station but laba mele baye Wynberg it's in Alex. So siye Wynberg siye Alex singene emaseleni. That was my first time in arrest C4 akekho sindayo.
But how many years?
Asikaka sasa arrest. Asikaka fika uma sentencing and stuff, yabo. So siya arrestwa then we sleep lapha police station. Ukwabona uyaqala uboshwe, you don't understand the nitty-gritty that goes into that. You understand?
Now how many years lapha?
Like
lapha iminyaka yakho.
Oh my years. Okay, I think I was around was still juvenile though. I think 16. Yeah, I think 16 at the time. So yaboshwa sengiboshiwe hey angisazi ukuthi ngizoyenza kanjani. You understand? Now masifike police station abokhata ke basiyeka silale ekseni kuvuka kwenziwa iprocess yokucharge. So mawucharge uthathwa ama fingerprints, ubhalisa statement, you are questioned, benenzani this and that. Siphika yonke into anyway. Angithi sibancane, minds are still kello and all of that. So we thinking whatever we're gonna say bazoyithatha le wesisho ngakhona. Hey asazi next thina, hey besizihambela sibuya kuphi hey yabo izinto ezinjengalezo. Because those people were stupid enough to arrest us and take the things that we have back to the victims. We understand. So where's the evidence? But we didn't know at the time, Muti. being in denial would actually help us because the evidence ayikho. You understand? So kusasa siya e court. It's my first time to appear in court. Sihlala sixoxa lezi zinto ngayehof ngatola ini yabo hlala sixoxa izinto engizizwa nginarration nje ama out masemakhoneni. I understand? Sharp akuna story. Siya hof masifika hof for remand. You will come back. I think basinike 4 days, wasn't 7 days. Basinike 4 days. Come back for a bail hearing. Yabona sibheke ini ukuthi hayi man abantu ababhaya bathi mababoshiwe maba first appearance baba release into your parents care since they're all juveniles and stuff like that. Vele wonke umuntu la underage. But at the time siyathathwa siyolala eSun City ngalelo langa la. First time ungene eSun City. You understand? Noma ufika awazi next. I understand the focal. But fortunate enough kunalento ukuthi mawusuka la ecourt usuka nabantu abasuka epolice station nabantu ababuya ejele. So when you go back uhamba nabantu ukuthi balale ejele bebeze court bazo attend, they are not on bail, and somehow or your homeboys obviously, especially mabe attend le court we attend abantu ba like us. You understand? So we spoke, hey mpetheni ini nana. Mina no one appeared on my behalf on that day. Okay, the other guys abantu bakuwe bakhona. Mina remember my story is difficult. Ugogo le makhishi. My mother cares even less. I understand. Yeah. So sibuyele eSun City. Akunale impahla zokushintsha. Ngigqoke leyo nto leyo ngigqokile sagcwele lawo magazi la lesikhathi base scratch abasishaya nanoma ngene police station nalama ink lawo ama fingerprints asekhona lapha asithe jean nesicathulo neskipa ngisagqoke lezo zinto lezo. You understand? Then we go into SUN City. Mawufika eSUN City, one thing about the SUN City, you just hear bedlam of noise that you won't understand. But why is there so much noise? You understand? Like abantu would be screaming and screaming, screaming and because there are so many cages and they house abantu ababuya kule court almost around ilento za Johannesburg vicinity. Wonke umuntu whether Soweto kuphi baba house kulawo ma cage, but that is momentarily before they dispense them to ama sections. Yeah, understand? Now benzani bayamemeza bajabulele lestimela singenayo sebabuzana manje abonyuwana bobani lapho inini sekuyaxoxwa ngathi ukuthi akunezinye ze, but when it's confusion you sticking now to lo muntu omaziyo buthe bafethu la ngoba mina benginale background ukuthi I understand from umxoxo ukuthi ejele kunjani, because le Grootman yami le ngitshela ngayo beke yaboshwa before mina ngizongena eDanyana, and yena West Party was a gang because we were arresting up in Mpumalanga and stuff. You understand? And he became a gang member now. So he knew izintonyana ezithile, or should I say he had more knowledge about ukuboshwa komuntu. So there were things angikhuze kuzo, hey mfethu ungafiki lapho wenze so mangabe uzoboshwa this masixoxa. You understand? Not necessarily ukuthi beka anticipate ukuthi nizoboshwa, but it was us conversation between amajida. You understand? Yeah. Shapa kuna story. Yimi loyana sesingenile sesiyahlukaniswa ke lapha emakhejini abase Wynberg la abase Randburg la ini nani. Bela sehla nale group esizokwehla na, but silala kwenye section before sizo dispenswa to another section. So silala lapho for one night. Tomorrow morning we eat. Lento idlayo yaqala nokuyidla. Udlo omunye umntoko manzi ne. Ithusla yasejele. Ungayihlanganisa so. Bese uyibeka so. You still see through. Nguye. Ubone ngale. Moyibambe so. That is 2 slices. So uphaka le yanto uphaka nomdoko manzi. It's watery substance. I wouldn't say it's porridge, because the porridge has to be at least a bit stiffer so that it stays longer. And one thing about the soft porridge, it doesn't actually stay much in the stomach, and it makes you hungry. You understand? And anyways, iyakulalisa nokulalisa mawuvuka ufuna ukudla. So siyaphakelwa and then siyavaya siyiswa kuleyo section esiyakuyo. So now lapha bekune juvenile section. Ukuthi hayi And then saba nama homeboy batshela abafethu bani nathi manifika siyesela indethu. You understand? So that was the a little bit of mercy or fortune siyasabana ukuthi wabona homeboy and then so then had we went to other cells ezihlala abanye abantu bakwamanye amakazi yo into besizoyenzwa yona lapho. Even rapes would have happened, even ukushaywa, even ukuthathelwa whatever, unikezwe izinto ezidabukile, because that's what people used to do.
So anihlukumezekanga la?
No, ngithi sithola ama homeboys right safika sahlala eselini noma besingana nix isintwananyana. Azange nje sibhayise ukuthi silele lapha phansi or sinikwe imibhedo, whether they were covered in sheets or not, it didn't matter because umbhede. Yabona, you know those bunks, they have a bottom one and a top one, as I said, but in team it's still, but we got that and it was sufficient. Then ulala a police station ulala phansi. So mawuzofika futhi nasejele la kunembhedo khona bese ulala phansi futhi, it would have been another disaster. You understand? Fast forward 4 days later, labantu abayi3 bonke sebabhayilile bangaphandle. After masibuya office tholile oyi1 ubhayile vele khona ecourt. Azange abuyele nathi le. Thina siyabuyela si3. These guys bayabhayila the next day. Mina ngisala ngiyi1.
Imali
Ngizoyithatha phi? And I asked her bafuna 3,000 ngaleza inkathi. Yo, bekuyimine mostly. You understand? So now Kriza lami sekumele ngilifonele manje. Khona inekhadi yangifonisa ngifonele le. Phela mina ngiboshiwe kanje bafuna ibail. Yo imali engaka soyithatha phi ini nani. Ngibuyele off. Mangibuyele off ba reduce ibail ngithi angisayi afford. Unga afford imali nanga oledi wami. Oledi lithi anga afford nje noma 1,000 but hayi we place it at 2,000. I had to go back. Ayokhereza la enye ayifuna and uphethe 1,200 lo muntu. Now she had to go back. Uyofunana ne800 rand. And 800 rand was too much money back then. You understand? So she went abuye, but after a couple of days obviously. I stayed approximately 3 to 4 weeks, almost a month before I could get released. Abanye abantu kudala bahamba. You understand? She came, was on bail. It's a procedure. It's not like you going in. When you are coming out of jail, it's more of a procedure than when you are going in. You understand? So I had to wait there for hours and hours. When I was called in the morning, sukela phana ngaboma 8 la ngihlala khona sectioning. Ngiyale ngase reception. We got out at 11 or around 11. Was waiting whilst they were still processing papers and this and that and that and that. Bangifakela impahla, they looking you at a glass, like through a glass, bayabona lapho. So ushawe indawo so umhlobo ugene ne-complexion. Ngapondile yazi mawungena ejele ungana nix. Hey man ufila ngathi yabo uyahlupheka man ngathi usafara kakhulu and everything of that sort. So bangifakela nempahla ngiyachintshanyana ngiyaphuma yabo. Mangivela ngale kunale yasedladleni. And then unegreza. Haya into yokuqala nje into zenu yabo bayakuthethisa and all of that. Okay, nawe ke so swabile ungena etransit. Mangehle eTexini ngehlela la e4. Igreza lisekho. Selitheli yabo kuphi. Lena ayisekhiye impintshini zayo. Mangehla la nazi impintshi zami khona la. Hey madoda ngibuyile ngithola vele babuye around. Bashayisile. Awuna sinesposting. Yabo nje le nto la sengisemshoveni kusasa ekuseni siyavuka siyabangena